Hello and welcome to Bingen am Rhein in Germany. I've got here a prototype of a camper van which I think is particularly interesting. It's called the Vialla Grande. This morning somebody wrote to me and said, can I film it? And I thought, well, I'm going to be in the area, why not? And so I'm here. I bet it was somebody from the factory sort of doing it, pretending to be a potential buyer. But anyway, if that was the case, it worked. I'm here, and this prototype has my favorite camper van layout inside. Now, there's one or two things I think are not quite there yet, but it's a prototype, and as such, one has to regard it in that light. Now, favorite layout. So if you've watched any of my videos, you will know that I like the bed up there. I don't like the bed up there in a motorhome at all, but in a camper van there's no problem with it like this because it saves space. And also, one thing about this layout is it's relatively flat. There is a step there, but most of this layout, my favorite one, doesn't have a flat floor, but that has a relatively flat floor. They brought the kitchen here to the back like this, and we've got these seats here, which I'm sure will also make a bed, although it's not going to be a particularly long one. And this table is great. It shows that they're thinking there's 4 people in the van, and if you're doing food for 4 people, for example, then you need somewhere to actually eat it. Of course, there is the option of eating out. On a day like today, that's great, but on a day like most of them, it's not such a good thing. Right, let's come to the back first of all and to show you the way the bed works. So I'm going to start off with this because I think this is quite good. Right, so we've got the electric system here. You can see the 12 volts on, and here's the switch. So let's just show the bed coming down. Let's hope it works. That was a smooth drop down, very easy. Now, one thing here, there's only one skylight up there. At least it's better than no skylights at all. But these places can get stuffy, and that will get a little bit stuffy. What's the solution? I think the solution is to actually put another one up front. That would be my suggestion. There may be other ways around it. Of course, there is this wonderful skylight here at the back. Now, how do you get into the bed? Well, you can see you've got a couple of things here for a ladder. So you can put a ladder there, and of course, what one probably end up doing, standing on there. Oh, you know what's going to happen next, don't you? You can see this one coming, standing on there, then getting into the bed, and one day you're going to stand on there and put too much weight on it, and the whole thing's going to break. That's what's going to happen. But anyway, if you remember to use the ladder, then hopefully that won't happen. Now, another feature of this, when the roof is down, is that you can actually sort of sit around here. And this, at the present moment, is not much different to being in a car. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see me, and I bet this is the only reason you really want. There you go. So I'm in it now. There you go. You see how much space there is under it. It's also got nice lighting. I'm going to come to the back, make myself comfortable. There we go. Oh, I've got my feet up now. Got my shoes on, so I'll be careful not to touch the upholstery. See how much space here as well. So, you can't, even with the beds down, you can sort of continue to sit here and do something with the computer or watch your mobile phone or whatever, whilst the other partner is up there in bed. So that is a possibility with all this space we've got. Now you're going to be wondering, how much does this cost? Hey, don't know what you made here. How much does it cost? And now we have the problem. It's a prototype. But if you ask me, it's from a small company You can see you've got the workshops are through there. A specialised company. They're not going to be knocking these out on a production line. I think you're probably looking at around 90,000, 80 to 90,000, depends on the kit inside. That's my guess, you know. I mean, it might turn out to be 25 euros, but I wouldn't bank on that one too much. Okay, let's have a look around some of the kitchen stuff. Yeah, and of course you've got the standard 2 burners and a sink. Fortunately, it's got the old style plug. And another unfortunate thing is that these things are very close to the metal and indeed the flame. That's unfortunate. That could have been done better, in my opinion. Now, one thing I'll show you this as well. You don't want to know where you're going to put your clothes, and that's the place. I think that the ladder's meant to live in there, although I put the ladder under the bed myself. You may have seen in videos in the campervan halls at Caravan Salon Düsseldorf. I went past this one, but I didn't actually go in it. Right, you've got this enormous shower. Look how big it is. Bearing in mind as well, this is a Ford Transit van conversion. You've got all of this space. I'm going to put the thing back around again so you can see me. Right, you've got all of this space in the washroom. Good, eh? But what isn't so good, and I'm going to show you now. No problems with that, although in a vehicle like this I would expect something better than that. Cheap, but of course it's a prototype, and being a prototype as well, we've got this it doesn't quite fit. Although, I mean, they'll work on that. They'll probably put some plastic sheet or something to stop it getting the water going through. But other than that, you know, it's got a lot of space. So there's definitely lots of things could happen here. Great. Yeah, it's even got two drainage holes. I got a fridge that opens 2 ways. I can see the point of it opening this. I can see the point of it opening this way. Oh, and this one's broken. Anyway, it's supposed to open this way as well. This one here is broken, I notice. And I got see, I think what the problem is. Anyway, never mind. I'm not going to try and fix it. That I dare say got broken at the trade fair. People break things. Right, I'll show you a bit more here. You got your hookup plug, 12 volts, 2 USBs, and here this will tell us what the score is at the present, so how much water is there in here. I need to use a bit more force. There's no water in. I've just set the pump off and there's no water. Okay, so I'll turn that off. Always remember to turn it off if there's no water inside. Okay, so let's have a look at this. You can see no water and no wastewater inside. And the score on the batteries, so the 12.4, I'll come on to that one. On the solar front, 0.7 it's taking in, and we're not actually plugged in. Now I'm going to come to this one here, Fahrzeug, and that would show you how much energy is still in your engine battery. So you see it on here. But one exciting part of this is that this thing actually often works with an electric vehicle as well, and I filmed an electric vehicle. Now, 0.7 amps coming in on a day like today doesn't seem like a lot to me. I don't know, maybe. Alright, so you've got more lighting here if you want it. Let's turn the lights off. I'll turn them back on again. And a light there for something. And what's this do? That makes a beep. Right, good. Well, the bed's down, and let's suppose we want to sit around the table. So let's now go back here, turn this around, and up. Warning! I didn't see what the warning sign said, but there was a warning there. It could be that the battery is dropping down. So let's have another go at the battery. No, still on 12.4. Anyway, so whatever it was, who knows? I should have been watching that instead of the bed. You've got a bit of storage down there. That seems ideal size for keeping beer cans in. Let's close the door and have a walk around the outside. So you got any comments about this? I mean, look, some things haven't been done. For example, there's no insect net in here. In my opinion, insect net is absolutely essential. I mean, they're getting anyway, but not having them in is a great boost. This thing here has been built with a 100 amp lithium battery. Of course, if it's been built to order, then you can get something else. I mean, lithium batteries, of course, are expensive. You know, it's cheaper if you're not going to go off grid. But if you are going to go off grid, then in my opinion, living without a lithium battery is not a good idea. Indeed, 100 amp. There's like 4 of you, even lithium. You're going to need something stronger than that. There's your cassette toilet. And here we have the escape entrance during the shower. And you don't want people to see you coming out with no clothes on. What you do is you run out the back here and onto the campsite. What's the point of that? Well, there's a company in Bydgoszcz, Poland, or near Bydgoszcz, and they built a shower immediately to somebody's order. They built the shower right next to the door. And that's what somebody wanted. I think the idea is that if you come off the beach or something, I don't know, you just straight into the shower. Maybe that's the idea. I suppose in some circumstances, if you've got a messy dog to take care of, I could see the advantage there. I couldn't lift my dog up that high, but maybe somebody's got a smaller messy dog. In here, we will find the the gas cabinet, and one large canister there. As I always say, if you get a one you can actually fill up yourself, you'll find it a lot easier. And the cassette will come out like this. Oh, you see it's got this, and it'll pull out. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Push this down here, and then can't do it with one hand. Oh, can you believe it? Anyway, but to make the point, it comes with one of these like travel cases that you then pull along the ground. Let's close the doors. So I think it's a very interesting piece of kit, this one. There's your hookup, and that's where you put your water in. Now the water tanks, okay, it's a prototype, so you're probably looking at 100 for both empty, fresh and empty. Approximately, it depends. I mean, also if these things now probably building them to order anyway. Anyway, you could ask for whatever you wanted, within reason, of course. Just mention a little thing here, because I mentioned the Fiat logo in other videos. Here, this is the new Ford logo, and I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to compare. You can see the old one. There's the old one. This new one, a bit like the Fiat logo. It's the same sort of thing. So in some ways it's traditional, but it's going into the future. This one's going less into the future, but it does somewhat remind me of films I've seen of the US in the 60s and the 70s. That's just my opinion. That's how I take it. Other people might see it differently, but I think it looks quite nice. Anyway, this company builds special purpose vehicles, and they do things like vehicles for people who have physical problems, and wheelchair access, school buses, transport of whatever nature. And so I think they've only just gone into building campervans, an electric campervan they've done, and this motorhome. This motorhome, though, I think really is, it's very, from a design point of view, I think it's very good. If you see anything which is wrong, I mean, do write it down, because it might be something I didn't think of, and it would help them in the production process, because they clearly do want to get into this market. I suspect that they saw how many vans were being sold, so then they decided, aha, this is the thing to do. What we want to do is to get into the motorhome market, the RV market, the camper vans, build camper vans, Ford Transit Custom. Well, this is a Ford Transit, and so that's what they've done. So, okay, I've got the production hall directly behind me, but as I wasn't given permission to film in the production hall, I'm not going to do it. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I certainly do like the van, and if you've got any further points to make, put them in the questions. All the best from Bingen am Rhein in Germany.